What's up? My name is John Bonjour. I am a comic book artist and film enthusiast, and this is a continuation on my series, Why It Should Win Best Picture, wherein I look at the Bosco's Best Picture nominees and discuss what I think is unique and notable about each one and why they should win Best Picture. Today, we are talking about Hamnet. Hamnet is the story of a man who is burdened by destiny, who is cast out by his father and must learn the weight of responsibility, the weight of hammers. No, I'm thinking about Thor. Hamnet is the story of one William Shakespeare and his wife learning that art is deep, actually. This is a very interesting film that I both see and appreciate what it's trying to do, what it's achieving with its filmmaking, and also pretty much completely bounced clean off of me. There are moments of it that really shine through and things that I think I really grasp onto and care about. If you don't know the story, spoilers for the movie, William Shakespeare, he gets married, he has several kids, one of them dies, he turns that sadness into a play, and that's the movie, that's Hamnet. And obviously the things surrounding the death scene are very emotionally impactful. I cry a lot, but I cried at this movie. It was very good, it was very emotional, and I see so many of the things that are working in this movie, but something about it didn't quite connect to me. And I think part of that is that I'm an idiot. I'm a little baby boy who can't understand Shakespeare. There's a significant chunk of this movie that takes place in Shakespeare language, that involves. A lot of this movie is performing the play Hamlet, and guys, I just didn't get any of it. I was able to process the emotions of the characters outside of the play, but the things that were said in the play, I truly think that I am smart in many different ways. William Shakespeare is not a way that I am smart. Every time I've tried to engage with any of Shakespeare's writings or his plays, or even adaptations of his plays into movies that are more, honoring of the source material, it just literally does not make sense to me. I don't think it's undeserving of Best Picture. I think it is a beautiful film. There's a lot of really amazing technical and emotional things happening, even if I didn't necessarily connect with it, even if I'm not necessarily the target audience for the film. First and foremost, the score of the film is very, very good and very interesting. There's minimal score in the movie, and I think part of that is what makes the score so good, honestly, is there's a lot of silent moments. There's a lot of dead air in the movie that requires you to just kind of engage with these characters and live with them in these lives, in these moments. There's so much of this movie that is a quiet moment between two people, and in a lesser movie or a different movie, I don't know, in a more palatable movie, that would be kind of overlaid with these grand, swathing, emotional musical moments where the music kind of tells you what to feel and how to feel about it. But there is something about not having that as a part of the movie. There is a score and it comes into play in some important key moments, but having it not be a central focus of the film is, I actually think, a very, very good piece of the puzzle of what makes this work so well. That subdued, reserved score really highlights the performances in some very interesting ways, some ways that I will talk about a little bit more later. Speaking of performances, both Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal are asked to do a whole lot with very little. This is a somewhat bare-bones script, and they're asked to draw so much emotion and humanity out of that script. I talked earlier in another video about Sentimental Value, a movie that I think has the perfect balance of script and performance. This is not a movie that I think has that. In fact, I wouldn't necessarily highlight the script as a pro of the film at all. It's one of the things that I don't totally love about the movie, but I think that the performances outweigh that, and the performances draw so much out of a script that I think is okay. It highlights these actors in ways that I think any other script probably wouldn't, because they are putting the work in. Also, as a side note, I want to shout out Jacoby Jupe for being one of the only child actor performances in a movie that I don't hate with everything that I am. So much is asked of this little boy, and he does an incredible, truly phenomenal job. I don't even know if he's nominated for anything. He honestly should be. And it would be insane because that would probably be the youngest actor to win Best Supporting. I really do actively hate child actors in most things. I think the idea of, the way that we've kind of engaged with child actors as a society and as an industry is sort of disgusting and sort of the worst. And it kind of ruins people's lives and it makes me sad. And also, kids aren't good at acting. they're just simply not. You can kind of tell whether or not their parent is right off camera, like mouthing the words with them. You can tell if they understand what's happening, what the emotions are actually in this movie, if they've had this lived experience. And most children just don't have that much lived experience to draw on, and it really shows. Jacoby Jupe is truly phenomenal, maybe the best performance in the movie. The thing that I think is most important about Hamnet, the thing that I think plays the very best, is that it is shot, blocked, acted, directed, all like a stage play. It feels like you are watching a stage play, heightened a little bit because we can get actual sets, we can go to actual locations. I noticed it very early on in the forest scenes. Most of the scenes in the forest are shot either from straight on eye level or above, which I was like, weird call. That's just an odd thing to do, and I didn't quite understand what we were getting at with that. It felt kind of bland. And then we got to the dome scene, the theater where they play the performance of Hamlet. And I realized that the audience is either straight on the floor or up in the mezzanine or whatever you call that, the balcony seats. And that's kind of cool. Like, the way that they've shot this film is as if you are watching it at the dome, and it's just more immersive. It's brought you into the world because it's, again, actual places, real things. That kind of shot continues through the rest of the movie. There are, of course, things that break the rule, but the general sense of the film is that it is pretty flat shots, pretty non-dynamic, not a lot of moving camera work, and I think that works very, very well for what this movie's trying to do. Again, the reserve score feels like you're watching a play because it can't have music all the time. The performances feel like play performances, and I think that is a thing that is so cool about this movie because it acts like a stage play. It's also the thing that pushes me furthest away from the movie because I don't love stage plays, and I understand that is a personal preference. That is not a criticism of the film outside of just a thing that I don't personally love about it, which is why I'm torn on the film Hamnet. And this isn't really a review necessarily, just highlighting the things that I think make it good. But it's worth noting the things that make Hamnet so impressive are also things that I don't really like, things that I don't totally enjoy or engage with. If you love Shakespeare and if you really care about stage acting and performances like that, I think Hamnet is essential viewing. I mean, it might be the singular most impressive adaptation of a play because it has that feeling, because it adapts the sort of concept of watching a play into a movie. And for that reason, I do think Hamnet deserves to win Best Picture at the Boscos. I don't think it's going to, and I'm perfectly fine with that. If you've seen the movie, what did you think of Hamnet? What is your general opinion? Did you pick up the stage play vibes that I was picking up? And if you haven't seen the movie, shoot, I mean, you got a favorite chair? Do you have a favorite kind of chair? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, anything of the like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and don't forget that I am doing a series of these videos on why these movies should win Best Picture, so go check out those other videos. Or do none of those things, because I am not your dad.